educating people in financial matters. It's our group members.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'm Nasafa Salhabila, matric number 26828.
My name is Salma Clarissa. I'm a matric number 268822.
I'm Lima Shazwani, 281892.
I'm Anissa Hajar binti Saide, no matric 269432. Okay, so for this video, we will make a video about educating people in financial matters. So we will assess their financial, and we assess three people, right? Which is B40, M40, and D20. So please enjoy our video.
Client 1, B40, Mr. Farhan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So for today we will give out our interview with Abang Farhan here, and jadi we want to address the cash inflow, cash outflow, and also net worth.
After we meeting with Mr. Farhan, we know that Mr. Farhan is 27 years old and work as marketing manager in one of child care center. He want to retire at 55 years old. So in the cash flow statement, we can see that cash flow of Mr. Farhan in a good condition because of the inflow is more than the outflow. Same with the net worth statement, they also in a good position. Next, we move to the risk management. So if unwanted happen to Mr. Farhan, he need to prepare 9,600 to sustain his family. For the new capital needed for expenses to sustain the family, we use two methods, which is capital liquidation method and capital intake method. For the capital intake method, Mr. Farhan need to prepare 200,000, while for the capital liquidation method, is amount of 146,183 ringgit and 67 cents. For the new liability, Mr. Farhan need to be bond since the car have been paid in 2 years installment. So for the total capital needed to be covered, as in the capital liquidation method, the capital needed is 146,183 ringgit and 67 cents, plus with the new liabilities 41,800. So the total 1,087 ringgit, 983 ringgit and 67 cents is a new capital needed that to be covered. So we move to the takaful coverage of Mr. Farhan, that amount of 50,000 plus with 3 years of annual salary. So the total existing takaful is amount of 147,200. So here it can be seen that the capital needed is higher than the total of coverage. The balance of 40,783 ringgit and 67 cents is amount of capital needed, which is not enough to be covered. After we know all the information of Mr. Farhan, we recommend that Mr. Farhan need to upgrade the existing takaful to increase the limit of that takaful to cover the capital needed.
Okay, so it's the Excel. We access all the information through Excel. Client 2, M40, Mr. Abdurrahman.
Saya perkenalkan, nama saya Abdul Rahman Alami Bismail, berasal daripada Jitera Kedah dan juga masih menetap di Jitera Kedah. Dari sudut qualification saya grad 1, ijazah sarjana muda dalam jurusan kewangan. Dari sudut bekerja tu, on record saya tak bekerja dengan majikan. Tapi mudah fahamnya saya adalah commission earner, penerima insentif, penerima commission ataupun ejen produk kewangan. Saya dealer public gold. Okey, apa lagi nak tahu? Cukup tak?
Apa lagi yang saya ni? Rasanya cukup kan?
Cukup. Latar belakang family apa tu? Ada family.
Okey, ayah kerja apa semua tu
Tak berkahwin lagi kan?
Betul. Dari sudut status belum berkahwin, belum rumah tangga. So tanggungjawab tu tak ada lah. Sara hidup sendiri, dan every month tu memang ada bagi elak lah pada parent. Komitmen tak ada. Setakat komitmen tak ada. Yang ada hanyalah bil. Komitmen tu maksudnya dari sudut hutang, sitos ataupun sikris memang tak ada lah. Clean lah.
After we are doing interview through Zoom meeting, we know that Abdurrahman is a 25 years old man. He currently works as a gold dealer and he wants to retire at 55 years old. Currently, he is still single, but sometimes he also helps his parents. Abdurrahman is a UM graduate majoring in Islamic finance and banking, so he already has sufficient understanding regarding finance. Apart from that, from the cash flow statement above, Mr. Abdurrahman has a healthy cash flow where inflow more than outflow. Since Abdurrahman has no liability, his net worth statement are still in a good condition. Now, moving on to the next part, which is risk management part. If unwanted things happen in 1 year, Mr. Abdurrahman's family needs 7,200 ringgit to sustain his family. For new capital needed for expenses, we use two methods, namely the capital intake method and the capital liquidation method to find out how much capital is needed for this family to be sustainable. From the calculation results, it can be concluded that to maintain the family capital needed is 150,000 ringgit for capital intake method and 130,250.38 ringgit for capital liquidation method. This person has no liabilities and debts, so the total capital needed to be covered same as new capital needed for expenses. Mr. Abdurrahman told us that he does not have takaful coverage. Now, after we already know all the information, we can know that this person has a good financial position. We recommended to Mr. Abdurrahman that he buy takaful protection because we do not know what will happen in the future. It is all for the good of himself and his loved ones if something bad happens.
Okay, so it's our Excel for a calculation. Client 3 T20, Mr. Arias Abdullah.
Okay, hello everyone, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
So for continue our assessment, here with us, Mr. Arias Abdullah. He one of our interview. So, Mr. Arias Abdullah, can you tell your background? Is it okay with bahasa Indonesia or bahasa Melayu?
Oke, nama Aris Abdullah. Saat ini bekerja di perusahaan swasta di Indonesia.
Boleh tahu umur?
Umur lahir 71, 52 sekarang.
Okay.
52 tahun.
For this assignment, we will ask about your inflow, outflow, and net worth statement such as asset and your liabilities. So maybe we will add some items. Salary, yours.
After we did the assessment through Zoom meeting, we know that Mr. Arias Abdullah is 53 years old. He has a wife and 3 children. Mr. Arias Abdullah works as a head commerce in private company, and he wants to retire at 60 years old. He has not other financial goals because he already prepared for educational fund and he already did Hajj in 2012. So from the cash flow statement, you can see the cash flow still in a good condition because the inflow more than the outflow. From the net worth statement, it also shows a good position. But we have to explain to him that not every debt or liability involve riba. If we borrow from Islamic bank, for example, or if we know the contract, it's not riba, so it's not riba, right? Moving on to the next part, which is the risk management part. If unwanted things happen to him, he needs 81,543 ringgit Malaysia a year to sustain his family. For new capital needed for expenses to sustain the family, we use two methods, which are capital intake method and capital liquidation method. And after the calculation, we got the amount to sustain. He need to prepare the amount of 1,698,812.5 ringgit Malaysia using capital intake method, and 531,317.07 using capital liquidation method. This person has no liabilities and debt, so the total capital need to be covered, same as new capital needed for expenses. Mr. Arias told us that he has no takaful coverage, but he told us that he has sufficient conventional insurance from his office. After we know all the information, overall this person has a good financial position. So we recommend to him to change the conventional insurance to takaful, because Mr. Arias already has awareness about riba and pay the zakat, but he not know about takaful, and alhamdulillah we explain about it. Okay, so it's our Excel for the calculation.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Anissa Hajar binti Saidi, my matric number 269432. I will present some information related to the finance of a three groups, namely T20, M40 and B14, and give some suggestion for this group. In this assignment, we need to find and analyze their finance with three methods, which are cash flow statement, net worth, and also risk management. For the first group, known as T20, T20 in Malaysia can be categorized as a group with a household income that represents the highest 20% household income in Malaysia. Our group has chosen Mr. Arias Abdullah. He is an Indonesian citizen. He is categorized as T20 because he has a higher income that is much as 13,846. Among the suggestions I can suggest to Mr. Arias Abdullah is to take takaful and make some investment to increase their income. The second is the M40 group. M40 group in Malaysia can be categorized as the middle class. Our group also chose to interview Mr. Rahman, who is also a gold trader. Mr. Rahman can be categorized as M40 group because Mr. Rahman has an income that much as 5,800. Among the suggestions I can suggest to Mr. Rahman is also take more takaful. This is said because takaful is very important to us, because takaful can protect our saving and can also protect our family member if we experience misfortune. The last one is known as the B14 group. The B14 group is the lower group. This group is the lowest household group in Malaysia. For this group, our group has chosen to interview Mr. Farhan. This is because Mr. Farhan's salary is 2,700. Among the suggestions I can make for Mr. Farhan is to suggest that he must upgrade the takaful protection to get necessary capital. Mr. Farhan should also make a saving, for example, saving in Amanah Saham Bumi Putra, which will get the annual dividend.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. My name is Abdullah Barak. My matric number is 268234. And today in our present the conclusion in our task, we can see how each individual from different background manage their finance. In 40 and T20 have fairly good financial position. Even our T20 client has prepared a pension fund and also sufficient insurance, but the clients use a conventional insurance. Therefore, we advise him to take the takaful if it's possible. The M40 clients, it does not yet have takaful protection, so we recommend it to take it. For the B40 clients, already has takaful, but the amount he takes is still lacking. We recommend taking it more. So why we educating people of the importance of takaful? Because it's essential and unique concept in the world of financial and insurance for Muslim. It's also best principle of mutual assisting, cooperation, solidarity, which is deeply rooted in Islamic teaching. Takaful also holds significant importance for several reasons. For Sharia compliance, takaful is preferred by default Muslim because it's aligned with Islamic principle, avoiding interest, uncertainty, and gambling present in confidential insurance. For the social and ethical value, takaful promotes cooperation and solidarity, social welfare, encouraging mutual assistance and support in time of need. For the risk sharing, Risk sharing is for equitable distribution. The government operates on the principle of preventing overwhelming financial burdens. Also, transparency and fairness. Careful emphasis on transparency and operation clearly define the term distributing the disturbers fairly among the policyholders. The prohibition also of interest rates is a riba and ethical practice. The careful avoid interest based on investment adhering to Islamic financial principle. We also have diversified the product offering. The couple offer various insurance like various catering to the diverse need while staying compliant with the Islamic beliefs. Also, we have the economic stability, which couple act as a safety net, mitigating the financial impact of uncertainty and promoting economic resilience. The couple is important for Muslim provide Sharia compliant alternative to conventional insurance, aligning with their religious belief and ethical value by emphasizing the risk sharing, transparency, fairness, solidarity, and also social responsibility. The couple promote the financial security while fostering sense of community and mutual support among the participants. So in conclusion, we sum up the TKAFL provides Muslim with a Sharia compliant alternative to conventional insurance, offering financial security while embodying the ethical religious belief. It's a risk sharing approach, fosters sense of community and mutual support, making it a very essential component of Islamic financial industry. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you for paying attention. That's all from our group. Bye-bye.